Myself Santosh, and in this important video I'm here to explain you identities. In mathematics there are many situations where the identities are needed. Now whenever we study the identities, these are of two types. First one is called additive identity and second one is called multiplicative identity. Now, what are the definitions of these two identities? First one is that is additive identity. The definition says that if a be any real number and a plus b equals to a. That means if a is a real number and we are adding b in that a and the result becomes itself a, then for all reals a, and this criteria is not only true for a particular a, it is true for every a, all a which are real numbers, then b is called, then this b is called additive identity of a. That means if we are adding something to something but the result is still something, then we say that second number which is added to the first number is the additive identity of the first number. Okay, now we have to recall these four sets to illustrate this situation very clearly. Natural numbers, we all know, starts from 1 to infinity. Whole numbers are starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Integers are starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, and then minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. And finally, rationals are those numbers which are of the form p upon q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. So if we particularly discuss the additive identity for these four sets, then what happens? The natural number n, there is no additive identity. Why? We all know that natural numbers are starting from 1 and ending to infinity. That means there does not exist any number. There does not exist any number which could be added to these numbers and the result would be the same. That means if we add 1 in 1, the result would be 2. If we add 2 and 3, the result would be 5. That means there is no number which will be added to 2 and the result would be again 2 from natural numbers. So it means that natural number n, there is no additive identity. Now when we talk about whole numbers, integers and rational numbers, so we all know that there is 0, we know that 0 can also be written as p upon q, and there is also 0. That means 0 is the number which could be added to any number and the result would be still that number. That means 0 is the additive identity for whole numbers, integers and rationals. Now this definition is completed for additive identity. Now we will discuss multiplicative identity. So first of all we have to discuss the definition. The definition says that if a is a real number, same situation like in this case, and a multiply b equals to a, and we multiply this a by another number b and the result is itself a, then we say that this b is multiplicative identity of a. What it does mean? It further says that for all reals a, that means this is not only true for a particular a, it is true for all the real numbers a, then b is called multiplicative identity of a. Okay, now if we talk about these four sets and multiplicative identity for these, then we say that there is a number 1 which can be multiplied to any number and the result always will be the given number. That means if we multiply minus 2 by 1, the answer would be minus 2. If we multiply 3 by 1, the answer would be 3. If we multiply 0 by 1, the answer would be 0. That means number is not changing. So this one is known as multiplicative identity, since this one lies in all the four cases, this case, this and this. So we can say that the multiplicative identity for natural number, multiplicative identity for whole numbers, the multiplicative identity for integers, and the multiplicative identity for rational numbers is 1. That means these all four sets are containing their multiplicative identity, that is 1. But in this situation there is a set called natural number which does not contain their additive identity. In advanced mathematics, that is why you will study that